Hi all, this is Simona Rich, and in this video I'm going to talk about the fact that we actually have no problems, but it's the mind that always dwells on things that may be coming true or things that have passed, things that just happened, and this creates problems. Our mind is to blame for all of these things, and Eckhart Tolle talks about it all the time. But unless one practices mindfulness, they will not be able to understand it, because the mind is so treacherous and it's so subtle. We don't understand sometimes the effects and the causes and the effects. So for example, we may think that suddenly we get upset, but actually it's because of some small thought. But when people are caught up in life and they're not aware of their mind's content, they will not know that they are upset because of some thought that just happened. And some thoughts they repeat over and over again, and they come from childhood. So the entire life can be unhappy because of some thoughts. For example, it could be some kind of critical thought that maybe your parent criticized you, and then that thought remained, and unless you become aware of it, it will poison your life. So it's the mind that poisons life. Actually, when you think about it, most people, they are just absolutely fine at this very moment. It's just the mind that creates imaginary fears, and then the body responds. But most people, unless now they are in pain or now they are dying from hunger, they're actually absolutely fine. So 99% of the problems, they are not real problems, they are created by the mind. And even if something bad happens to you, it's like for an animal, when something happens to the animal, even if they lose their leg, after the pain is gone, they are fine, even though they don't have leg. They don't dwell on it, they are not sad about it, they are just as they were, just without the leg. But for people, even if there is some kind of unfortunate encounter and another person was toxic and the encounter has finished, but the person still dwells on that encounter and it poisons their life, although that event has finished. That's the reason it's so important to get in control of your mind through mindfulness, because when you stay mindful, you can catch all the evil thoughts that are poisoning your life, and then you will find out so many patterns of the mind. You will understand how the mind functions and how it creates misery, how it dwells on the past, and especially focuses on imaginary fears that are 99% likely not to come true. But because we have this reptilian brain, even though it's so easy these days to survive, there is still this fear that we will not survive, that something will happen to us, that we will not have money. And it's so funny because these thoughts actually prevent the influx of more money and more happiness, because of this scarcity, these fear-based thoughts. So through mindfulness, you become aware of these mental patterns, and your awareness itself starts dissolving them, because they are already exposed, because these are illusory thoughts, they are of darkness. So when the light of your awareness shines on them, they start disappearing. It's the easiest thing in the world. And if you even pray for them to dissolve faster, that may indeed happen. But as I said, awareness itself does the whole job. Just over time, gradually, you will not get rid of ingrained patterns of the mind as soon as you start being more aware. There is absolutely nothing for us to do. Everything, as I firmly believe, the whole story of our lives is already written. You can read it in the stars, in astrology, and you don't have to do anything. You are not the doer, like it is told in the Vedic scripts, ancient Vedic scripts, you are not the doer. You think you are the doer because you're identified with this body, but the body just acts. And even if you decide not to do anything but just lie in bed all day, if you're supposed to do something, you will do it. You will not even think about it because the script is already written. And for me, this is not scary. The ego finds it scary. It's empowering because then you don't have to worry about anything. You can just relax into your life, and whatever things will happen, will happen. And for example, I don't have to force myself to create this content, because when there is this need arises from within, that I naturally do. So this kind of life, knowing that everything is arranged, you're not the doer, is just so freeing. And when thoughts are no longer controlling you, then every single day is happy. I'm telling, I don't need to have anything special happen in my life. And I apologize if you hear someone is today making some kind of I can hear some drilling today in some apartment, so I can a little bit hear it. So maybe you will hear it also. So every day I go out and I just appreciate different sky. Every day the sky is different. Sometimes it's more sunny, sometimes it's less sunny, sometimes it's rainy, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's warm. And every day is like a special gift. It's different. And I appreciate it so much. And I walk so slowly, just looking at the sky, looking at nature. And I feel so happy because my mind is at rest. I'm not like Eckhart Tolle, where I'm not identifying with any thoughts at all. Of course I do, but little. To a large extent, I'm able to control my mind and I'm detached from my thoughts. So even if thoughts happen, I usually find myself observing thoughts rather than going with the thoughts, thinking that I'm the one that is thinking those things. So because of this, my mind is often at peace, quiet, totally quiet. And I just enjoy most of the moments of my days. So for example, even if I eat, I don't have to watch any video whilst eating or whilst relaxing. I can do that, but often I just find myself looking at my plants on the windowsill growing beautifully, or looking at the different colors of the sky through my window and how the sunlight reflects on the houses, and how the trees throw a shadow on the houses, and it's just so beautiful. I don't need anything big, but just simple things of everyday life make me happy. Or even making food, playing with my dog, relaxing on my couch, doing astrology assessments. Everything is, I kind of enjoy everything. And this makes me think why another reason why people are miserable is because they are stuck in the system, and then they complain that they have to pay a lot of taxes, that the system is horrible. And of course they are. We are working for the oppressors, but this is our choice. We also can escape from the system. I don't know about the laws of your country, but you have to find them out, and there is always a way out for you to escape and maybe live on your own land, and maybe you will not have healthcare or something like this. But these are again mental fears, because if life is already, all the story is already written, then you will not die before your time. And then those people who are supposed to die, but they are held by hundreds of medicines from death, what kind of life is that? They're living dead. It's not life. So once you will be alive, you will be kept active as long as you're required. This body is not permanent, and then when you have to go, you will have to go. And if something happens and you are supposed to recover from it, whatever your current financial situation, and whether you're in the system or out of the system, you will be taken care of. So this is so empowering to know that all the story is already written, so you can just relax and you don't need to be under the control of the system from fear of not having a health care or something like this, because you have to just trust that everything will work out, that the universe will use you no matter what. And it's better to have fulfilling, interesting, rich, not like wealth, financially rich, but I mean just rich life, than being a slave of the system and living longer and then dying, but then not really having lived life at all because of the fears. I went into a few topics in this video, but all of them are related, and I do hope that more people would become aware of the content of their minds, because that's what creates your reality. And of course it won't come easy, because mindfulness requires effort, but once your time has come to awaken or to pursue these matters more seriously, there will be energy to do that. I have put a lot of my energy of younger years into mindfulness practices. If you've been following me, you know that I frequented Buddhist monasteries, and I would meditate sometimes probably around 20 or 19 or 18 hours a day in a Thailand monastery, for example, and I wrote about it. So all these mindfulness efforts are paying off now, and now I'm just mindful without practicing mindfulness. I just find myself sometimes before sleep, I just naturally get into meditation, or when I walk, I just am in touch with everything that's happening in my body, and I am observing everything, and I'm fully aware, and it makes me so happy. So every day could be so happy if you live a mindful life, even though nothing special actually happens in your life. But actually all days are like gifts to us, but the ego is never satisfied. It wants special things, it wants expensive things, and when it gets it, it's still not satisfied because it doesn't really exist. It just tries to prove its own existence through experiences, and it needs more and more of them, but then you're still not satisfied. So this is the whole wrong approach. But if you start disidentifying from this mental construct, then you will understand that you need nothing, that you're just a happy human being, and you're appreciating everything, and even very simple things in life makes you so happy. And it's crazy for people who are not awakened. I may actually look like insane because I appreciate even small flowers. They're so beautiful, and I don't need any even special flowers to grow in my garden. I just want very simple flowers, and I will appreciate them so much, and all of them are so unique. And I know it sounds really crazy, but really when you are awake, you find happiness in the smallest of things, and you actually don't find happiness in very special things that the egos like newest cars and things like this. You just need, of course, the body needs some comfort, but once it goes over the top and it's extreme, I think that actually what happens is that we become miserable because we are living in excess. And when you look at nature, there is no excess, everything is fully used. And so if you are living, for example, in a palace whilst other brothers and sisters starve, I don't think it's possible to feel happy. And like Eckhart Tolle told in it wasn't Eckhart Tolle, it was Peace Pilgrim told in that during her journeys she met many wealthy people, and she said it's very rare that a wealthy person is happy. Why? Because they live in excess, they have excess, and they don't share it, and they become miserable and they don't know what's wrong with them. Firstly, of course, they are not aware, they are in the ego, but also this excess, we're not supposed to have it, we're supposed to share it. And when we live just comfortable lives, not identified with our minds, then we will find happiness in the simplest of things. And I know once I go to my land, although my hut is very tiny, once I extend it a little bit and I have my own water source, I don't need anything more. This is life, living in nature, enjoying the fruit of my labor, which is vegetables and growing chickens. And for me, this natural life is just so attractive. And the ego is, of course, wants to experience luxurious life, like living in the city, the best life. But then also, because it's in the system, all kinds of taxes and other responsibilities are come into your life, and they just suck the soul out. I don't want to deal with customer service representatives who are kind of mindless, wait on calls for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and deal with the system in other ways. This is, again, as I told in the video previously, this is the choice that people make to be involved in the system, and it's because they think that they are getting something exclusive. They are living life that other people look up to, for example, or respect. But when you disidentify from the ego, you understand that you need very little, you need very simple life to be happy. And if you live a very simple life, there are almost no responsibilities, no paying bills, especially if you are living an off-grid life where you have your own solar power or wind power and so forth. So you almost have no responsibilities. You can just relax and enjoy your life, do gardening, enjoy the sun, take walks in the forest, play with your animals if you have them. It's just simple life is the best life. And I'm looking forward to moving. Now it's less than a month left for me. Oh, you can see my dog, he's sleeping as always. Moving to my land, and I'm already starting to pack because I have so many things to take. So I'm packing everything. My vegetables are growing. Of course, I'm going to plant many more vegetables. What you saw on my windowsill is just like just a few vegetables which I wanted to start early to see how they grow, but I will grow many more vegetables. And yeah, I'm looking forward to moving, to start living a more natural life. I did enjoy staying here in the city because it's the old town, and it has, everywhere you go, there are old churches and beautiful buildings of all kinds of times. So it's so beautiful to walk here, but I also miss nature because even though people, especially of the past, could create really beautiful things, I think nature is the most beautiful creation of all. So although it's going to be challenging for me to move there and to start building, hopefully my neighbor will help. So building my house, it's going to be worth it, I think. And I also bought tools for building the house, but I bought drill screwdriver, or how it's called. That was too small, so I'll need to buy another one, but I will keep that small one for small work. So I think I told everything in this video. Maybe I'm going to also show you my plants again, and I will also show you my dog, Leo. No. I washed this dog now, so now its fur is better. It doesn't look that nice here, but now the fur is becoming a little bit more shiny than it was. Leo, Leo, Leo. Leo. And it has this hair, I call it dreadlock, but it doesn't allow me to cut it because he's afraid of scissors, so I can't really cut it, but I keep it there. What can I do? Always sleepy. Leo. 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 Yeah, show your face. Leo. Leo. My plants. I also planted some onion seedlings because I have many of them, but some of them started growing in the bag, so I just planted them and already they are so big. And some of them are actually garlic seedlings, but I forgot to mark. I should always mark what I plant, and now I don't know where are garlic seedlings and where are onion seedlings. So here you can see the beetroot. It's getting leggy. I know I have less light than I'm supposed to, but hopefully I'm going to transplant them soon and hopefully they will grow, but if not, then it's okay. I can just plant other beets. Beets grow really well in my garden, as well as carrots. This is another beet. This is tomato plant. Something is happening with the leaves. I don't know why. Maybe they need some kind of mineral, because I put enough water, but I don't know why they're like this. And these are just leaves of rose plant for mulch, so it's not the tomato leaves. These are wild strawberries with some onions. These are onions, different kinds, the ones that I planted from seed and the seedling onions. And this is the Brussels sprout, but it's getting really leggy. I hope it won't die. As you can see, it's kind of, I can't even, unless I don't know if I should support it with something, but it looks like it's growing, but it's kind of, yeah, leggy. And this is another Brussels sprouts. This one is growing better, but it's small. And then this is another tomato seedling. This is beetroot. This is the marigold, as well as some onions. These are marigolds. These are poppy seeds. Beetroot, onions, and the biggest tomato plant. And here is the other windowsill that I wanted to show. This is the paint peeling off because of humidity, but now it's dry because of the radiators. But yeah, it did, humidity damaged this windowsill. This is that plant that I showed you before. It's growing really well. It's now very big. This is, I like to keep candles in this crystal dish, because when the candle is lit here at night, it looks so beautiful. And this is the teapot that I purchased from thrift store. I think it's really nice, but that's the only one that was available, so I bought it. This is the rose that I bought I don't know how long ago, but it's the growth is huge. All these bright green leaves are new growths, so I bought it this size, and now it's so big, but I need to cut it because it grows all over the place. But I want to see the petals first. So this is the first flower. It has such beautiful color, and this is the other rose plant that I purchased recently, and again it already has new growths here. I think I didn't see it before. I think these are new growths, and yeah, it's a very beautiful plant. So that's all I wanted to share with you in this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my message. Have a great day. Take care.